I wasn't sure if I should make this video or not because I realized that Bonnie Christine has quite a cult following online. A lot of people worship her, and I wasn't sure how well this video was going to be received. But I thought if you are about to invest thousands of dollars into an online course, you might want to know as much information as possible. So I'm just going to share my experience and my thoughts on immersion, and you guys can make an informed decision. So I signed up for immersion back in 2023. I paid my deposit, sort of reassured by the fact that they would refund it if I changed my mind, no questions asked. Soon after that, I received this massive, heavy folder in the post. If I remember correctly, the folder contained calendar with like scheduling for the course, some bits of course materials. It wasn't anything I couldn't have printed from the online material. It wasn't essential for the course. I didn't order it. I didn't request it. I think it was sent more like a gift to sort of welcome you as a student. Not long after that, I decided that I wasn't going to go ahead with the course and I requested a refund. To which I was told that I needed to return this folder in order to be issued a refund. I was surprised because at no point in the marketing do they mention that this folder is part of the refund process. For me to post it back to them from London in the UK back to, I think it was Texas in the US, the cost of that was almost half the deposit itself. So it wasn't cheap. I asked why they needed it back because I thought it was a gift, to which they said the folder is the property of Bonnie Christine and I should just return it. So, of course, I returned it and they issued a full refund. Imagine my surprise when a month later I received that same folder back. It was returned to me because the recipient failed to pick it up at the depot or failed to claim it or something. So I got it back. It got returned to sender. So they never actually needed that folder back. It was literally just used as a deterrent to like prevent people from sending it because it's so expensive to send back and just kind of not wanting to deal with it, I guess. So they literally used it as like a way to prevent people from requesting refunds. As you can imagine, the whole interaction kind of left an unpleasant aftertaste in me. As for the course content itself, it teaches things like pattern construction, portfolio building, and some basics of the licensing process. The question isn't whether the course is legit. The real question, I think, is whether it's worth the price or there are other places online where you can learn similar things for less money. And I think the simple answer is that immersion doesn't really teach you anything you can't learn on Skillshare. I'm not affiliated with Skillshare at all. The only reason I'm mentioning them is because I think most people come across Bonnie Christine's classes first on Skillshare. That's what was the case for me, at least. Skillshare is full of talented teachers who don't just teach you Illustrator. There's plenty of other software classes on there like Photoshop, Affinity Designer, Procreate, as well as all kinds of business tips, how to approach the industry, how to build portfolio, how to build collections, and all the rest of it. On top of that, there are many other resources like podcasts, workshops, master classes. For example, anything with Kat Coquelet is going to be full of amazing inspiration and great business tips. Another great resource is Creative Studio Collective. Again, I'm not affiliated with them, but I have used them and they're amazing. It's a female led online membership where you get monthly design briefs with professional feedback if you want it, and regular art calls from actual brands looking to license work from artists, which can be an incredible opportunity to launch a career in licensing if you're a beginner. So I highly recommend them. The marketing of immersion taps into this emotional narrative of creative freedom and highlights success stories of these few students who got these fabulous licensing deals right after graduating and quit their jobs and were able to start successful businesses of their own. That's not the typical outcome of the majority of students. Immersion underplays the reality that even experienced working designers um, have to rely on multiple streams of income in order to make ends meet. The truth is that this industry is insanely competitive and largely underpaid. The majority of students won't be able to make their investment back on licensing alone. Over the past decade, the online education market has exploded with courses like Immersion, and that's because they're much more profitable than licensing itself. Here's some quick math for you. Licensing a pattern to a fabric company will bring in between $200 to $1,000, royalty contracts will range from 3 to 5% of the wholesale value of products, where the designers actually share the risk with the manufacturers. If a design isn't performing very well, then the designers won't get paid as much. Freelance work is often irregular and the demand is unpredictable. Compare that with teaching. For 1,000 students paying approximately $2,000 each, the revenue is $2 million. Those are some pretty juicy numbers. And the best part is that it's scalable. The course isn't attached to a geographic location because it's online. So you're not limited by how many students you can fit in a room. You don't need to worry about manufacturing costs, the inventory, shipping, returns. Once the course is recorded, you can run it again and again, making it extremely cost effective to run. That's why many successful artists eventually pivot towards education as their primary income stream. So it seems that the only people making real money in this industry are the ones teaching others how to make money in this industry. And don't get me wrong, I like to see a rich girl. The wealth disparity between men and women in the world is so vast that whenever I see a woman doing well financially, I'm actually really happy. It's the questionable sales techniques that I struggle with. Speaking of sales techniques, I just want to briefly mention another element in the marketing of immersion, and that's the Immersion Certified Designer badge that students receive after completing the program. It's intended to signal that the designer understands the professional workflow of surface pattern design. They can put it up on their online profiles. However, it's worth remembering that immersion is not an accredited qualification. It's not the same as a formal art or design degree. So all that badge does is just indicates that you've completed this particular program, that you are part of Bonnie Christine's club, which there's nothing wrong with. It's just calling it what it is. It's another marketing technique. Immersion also highlights the value of the community as another key selling point of the course. But I think it's important to realize that it's not a community of licensing agents, manufacturers, or textile companies looking for artists to hire. That community alone would be worth the price of the course and more. The immersion community, however, is just fellow creatives of varying degrees of ability and experience who just happen to be taking the same online course together. Is it really worth thousands of dollars to you? It's important to build a community around your work, but rather than pay for access to it, you might as well just build your own audience online with people who resonate with your unique visual language. So, to conclude, if the price of immersion feels easily affordable and the course looks like fun, then by all means take it. I know people who have taken it multiple times. But if it feels like a major financial stretch, please don't feel like you're missing out on some massive career opportunity. You are not. It's not a shortcut into the industry. Neither is it some key piece of education that you can't find anywhere else online for less. But ultimately, no course replaces the real work of finding clients, pitching your work, and getting paid. If you've taken immersion yourself, I'd really be curious to hear your experience. Have you been able to earn your investment back? Feel free to share in the comments so people watching can see a variety of perspectives. And if you found this video helpful, subscribe for more honest conversations about illustration and surface pattern design industry and building a creative career.